Hi, have you ever wondered about the true nature of this manifested universe? And can you actually conceive that everything from the tiniest atoms to the magnificent large galaxies are all interconnected and are all just a projection in consciousness? Well, today we are going to the depths of the teachings of Advaita Vedanta, an ancient philosophy that talks about the power of consciousness and the relationship between man and the universe. So be ready to expand your perspective, challenge your beliefs, and to discover who you truly are. It's time to wake up. So first, coming to the introduction of Advaita Vedanta, this philosophy was popularized by Adi Shankaracharya, and the philosophy of Advaita talks about the teachings of Upanishads and Vedas. And according to Advaita Vedanta, consciousness is fundamental. The name given to this fundamental reality is Brahman, which is God. And everything else that we see around us is just a projection in God. It all comes from God, and after some time it subsides in God. And this reality that we experience all around us is just a projection. It doesn't have any independent existence apart from that pure consciousness or Brahman. This is the fundamental premise of Advaita Vedanta. And now, to make this video easy to consume, I have divided it into 4 parts. The first part is about the nature of the manifested universe. Now, like I said, Advaita Vedanta posits that this entire universe as we see it today comes from Brahman. It is a projection which happens within that consciousness. So Brahman or God or consciousness, all of these refer to the same thing as per Advaita Vedanta. So moving ahead, we will use consciousness as the term in order to denote that ultimate reality. Coming to how this manifested universe as we see it today was created, Advaita Vedanta says that this universe was not created, it just exists. To explain the nature of existence, Advaita Vedanta talks about the 3 levels of reality. One is Paramarthika Satya, which is the absolute reality, which is consciousness or Brahman. And then there is transactional reality or Vyavaharika Satya, which is the world that we see around us. Our entire universe with billions and trillions of galaxies, our businesses, our families, our relationships, everything happens within this transactional reality. Then there is something called as the Pratibhasika or illusory reality. Our dreams and imaginations all come under this level of reality. Now, what we need to understand is the relationship between transactional reality and absolute reality in order to understand the nature of existence. Transactional reality is the world that we live in. So I'm talking right now and you're listening to this video and there is an entire environment around us. All of this is within the transactional reality. And within the transactional reality, there is duality. There are different objects, there are different people, there are different things, all of which seem to be separate from us. But what we need to understand is that this world, as we see it today, is because of Maya. It is an illusion. Now, why is this world an illusion? The absolute reality or consciousness always exists and it is independent in the sense that it does not need anything else for its existence. But this transactional reality, which is the world that we live in, is a dependent existence. It takes its existence or it derives its existence from consciousness. So if consciousness were not there, then this experience would not have been possible. That is how Vedanta explains the nature of reality. Now, to understand this, we need to understand Maya. Maya is the creative potential or creative power of consciousness through which this world is projected. And Maya is basically why we perceive this world the way we do, as being separate from us. Now, to understand this, we need to look at an example. The example that we need to look at is of a dream. Now, we all dream different dreams, and within our dream, we assume the position of a dreamer, and that dreamer has various experiences. He goes around and he walks around different spaces, he talks to different people, and he fights with someone and he is in love with someone else. So he has his own world within the dream. Within the dream is the dreamer and there are different objects of the dream and there is an environment within which the dream experience happens. When we dream, within the dream we do not realize that whatever we are experiencing now is false or is an illusion. We think that it is real. If something dangerous happens in a dream, we are actually scared because we think whatever we are experiencing at that point of time is real. It is only when we wake up from the perspective of the waker, we say that whatever I experienced in the dream is an illusion or it was not real. And when we say whatever we experienced in the dream is not real, we don't mean that it didn't happen. Of course, whatever we experienced during our dreams actually happened. But the point is, whatever happened is a lower reality, in the sense that whatever happened in the dream has no effect on the waker. So even if we win a lottery in our dreams, we do not get that reward once we wake up. In that sense, it is not real. So just like this, we need to understand the relationship between the absolute reality and the transactional reality, between consciousness and the universe. So this universe and whatever we see all around us is a projection in consciousness. That pure consciousness exists by itself. And this world and this duality that we are experiencing is a projection, just like a dream. But of course, dream has a different set of parameters, whereas this transactional reality has much more sophisticated laws that govern it, and it runs on much more sophisticated parameters. But that doesn't mean that this world or this universe is real. According to Vedanta, just like how a dream is a projection, this universe, the way we see it today, is also a projection. And God or pure consciousness is the only absolute reality. And within the dream of that pure consciousness, we exist and we experience various things from our individual point of view. But this is an illusion. Once we realize our true nature as pure consciousness, we will see the world for what it is. Now coming to part 2, which is the creation process. The process of creation is not a deliberate act. This universe is a natural expression of Brahman's creative potential. Just like when we dream, we don't consciously dream different dreams. We don't choose a place to dream and we don't choose our surroundings and circumstances. Our dreams naturally come into being and they are an expression of our creative potential. Just like this universe is an expression of the creative potential of consciousness, and it is not a deliberate act of consciousness. And Maya is the name for the creative potential of consciousness, and the parameters of Maya are time, space and causation. So time, space and causation are the basic framework for the universe to exist in this way. And what we need to realize is that the same creative potential which lies in the consciousness is accessible to us because we are that pure consciousness. Our truest nature is that pure consciousness, because of which we have access to the creative potential of that pure consciousness. And using this power, we have the ability to create our lives the way we want. It is important to understand that our mind is a filter. And our mind is a lens through which we perceive this world. So we are not looking at this world as it is, but we are understanding or perceiving this world through the filter of our minds. And the parameters of this filter is time, space and causation. So we cannot go beyond time, space and causation because it is the fundamental framework of mind. Our mind has a certain limitation or boundary beyond which it cannot go, and that boundary is time, space and causation. And apart from this, there are sub-parameters for each of us, and these sub-parameters are our belief systems, thoughts and feelings. So each of us are wearing a certain kind of a lens. The basic parameters of each of this lens is time, space and causation, but beyond that there are sub-parameters which are individual to our personalities. So someone might believe that it is very easy to be healthy and wealthy, and the reality will reflect back the belief system. And someone else might believe that it is very difficult to be healthy, and for him or her it will be actually difficult to be healthy. So these are sub-parameters each of us have within that filter. So what we need to realize is that The basic parameters of the mind is common to all, whereas the sub-parameters or different belief systems and personality traits that we have are individual to us. So to live a fulfilled life, we need to be conscious of these sub-parameters, and we need to consciously have positive belief systems, thoughts and feelings in our personality so that this reality will reflect to us the same. Part 3 is about conscious living. Conscious living is extremely important. The ultimate goal for each one of us is liberation, says Vedanta. And liberation is nothing but dissolution of our minds. It just means that we need to break away from these 3 parameters, which are time, space and causation, and be one with that consciousness. And that pure consciousness is existence, consciousness and bliss. It is Satchidananda. Once you realize your true self as pure consciousness, you are said to be liberated. But of course, that takes time and effort. But until then, to live a fulfilled, happy life within this material world, we need to be at least conscious of our sub-parameters, which we discussed in the previous part. There is this famous saying in Vedanta, which is Aham Brahmasmi, which translates to I am God. We need to meditate upon this in order to realize who we truly are. To live a conscious life, we need to be conscious about our thought patterns. Every single day, we need to be conscious of them. And we need to also be conscious of the way we feel throughout the day. And we also need to look at our various belief systems that we hold at the deepest level. When we are conscious about all these things, we can start to live a positive and purposeful life. Meditation can be a very important tool in order to live a conscious life, as through meditation we break away from our unconscious thought patterns and we can also induce new positive thought patterns and belief systems into our personality. And we should also remember that through conscious living we can change the direction of our lives. Now let's talk more about the nature of this manifested universe. The world that we live in is in such a way that it reflects back to us our own personality. So our personality is nothing but our thoughts, feelings and our belief systems. Now all these things are what I call as sub-parameters, as we discussed in the previous part. Now because of our personality, we think different thoughts, we feel certain feelings and we hold certain belief systems within us. And all of these things will prompt us to take different actions in this world. And again, because of those thoughts, feelings and actions, we attract different situations in our lives. Now we need to understand this clearly because this is very important when it comes to living a fulfilled life. In order to change our external circumstances, we need to change our personality. Since we are nothing but pure consciousness at the deepest level, we have access to the creative potential of that pure consciousness. And we can create our lives the way we desire. But right now we are doing it unconsciously. We have unconscious thought patterns within us and we are not in control of our personalities. And in turn, our personalities are controlling us. So, as per Vedanta, we are not our personality. We think that we are our personality, but we are that pure consciousness and our personality is a mask over that consciousness. Now we can change that personality however we want it to be. If we change our personality and if we make our personality compatible with the life that we want to live, the life that we desire or want to live will naturally manifest in this world. This is the secret of the manifested universe. And this is what most of the teaching when it comes to personal development and law of attraction are missing. First of all, we need to realize our true self as consciousness, at least intellectually. Then we need to understand that our personalities is just a mask over that consciousness, and because of our personalities, we have a certain kind of life that we live. Then the next step is to consciously redefine and rework on that personality in order to build a new positive personality. And this positive personality will create a positive life for itself. This is what we need to understand. So to summarize what we covered in the video, first we understood that consciousness is fundamental to existence and this consciousness itself is God. And this consciousness is the absolute reality. And second, we understood what Maya is and how this universe is projected within consciousness, just like a dream. Third, we also understood the three levels of reality and the relationship between absolute reality and transactional reality. And fourth, we talked about conscious living and we understood the importance of living consciously in order to live a fulfilled life. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this was valuable to you. Make sure to live by this knowledge and these principles so that you can live a fulfilled and a purposeful life. If you like content like this, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to share our content with your friends and family. I'll see you on the next video.